Hey followers, I'm Stefan and it's time for another rideshare reflection. Hey guys, how y'all doing? Before I get started with today's story, I gotta send some congratulations to my cousin Stacy and his son Stefan Castle for winning the national championship last night. Today, when I was looking for a story to tell you guys, believe it or not, I was drawing a blank, which is crazy since I have thousands of stories, but I just didn't have one that came to mind. And but then very quickly I did. So I was driving down South Capitol Street one night. This is south of the city, as the name implies, and I had a passenger. It was an older lady, I would say probably in the 60s, which is not that older than me. And so it was pouring outside. I mean, raining like crazy. So it was already difficult to see. But then my windshield wiper flew right off the car. Like I just watched it go like this. And my mind took a second to process it. I was like, is that my windshield wiper? So I don't know how many of you have experienced this, but when your windshield wiper goes, you very quickly cannot see anything. I mean, like within a second. Now I have Rain-X on my windshield, so when I'm going really fast on a highway, the water beads, and sometimes I can still see without the windshield wipers. But we weren't going that fast. We were only going like about 25, 30 miles an hour. So I stuck my head out the window and I was driving like Ace Ventura, for you guys who are old enough to know who that is. So I'm driving, my head stuck out the window. I'll never forget what my passenger said. She said, "Oh dear." So anyway, I'm driving with my face out the window. And at the same time, I got a stick, so I got to reach in the car every now and then. And the rain just beating my face. You don't know how hard. Well, actually, I do know how hard from when I used to ride motorcycles. But if you haven't ridden motorcycles and you haven't been in the situation that I'm describing now, you have no idea how hard that rain hits your face when you're moving forward, At that point, I was moving like 30, 35, and the rain was just beating me up. So I managed to make it to her stop, which is good because I could tell she was panicking a little bit. She tried to keep it cool, but she was worried. So I made it to her spot, and I looked up to see where the nearest AutoZone or any kind of auto parts place was. Found it. It was close, but it was closing in 10 minutes. So thank God there was a break in the rain, and I was able to drive out there with my windshield wipers not on. And the reason I had to do that because the thing that holds the windshield wiper was scraping the windshield, and it was making a horrible noise. So yeah, I managed to get up there only to have them lock the place right in my face. He knew what I was trying to get in for, because I was holding the broke one, and I was like, nah. He locked the door, and I can't say I wouldn't do the same thing. I mean, after all, it was 10 o'clock, but I wish he would have had a little pity on me that night. So it started to pour again, and I had to wait again. And then when I got a break in the rain, I drove to Target. I think it was in Oxon Hill, but I drove to a Target and I did buy it, and everything was all right after that. But again, if you ever have to drive your car with your head stuck out the window while it's raining, it is not a nice experience.